In today's lesson, I thought it would be fun to paint a baby bunny. When I was sitting in my kitchen and looked out the window, there was a baby bunny on the patio. So I went on the internet and looked at several pictures of baby bunnies. And here's the one I decided to make as a model. This cute little baby bunny. Let's get started. Take your spray bottle, spray your pans of paint, put some water in your palette. Pick up your liner brush. And wet your brush. Have my paper towel handy in my other hand. Let's start with using some yellow ochre and lightly sketch the outline of the bunny. Let's start with those ears and put the ears about right here. Now here is one, and you can see a little bit of the other ear on the other side of it, like that. And then bring it down. And this is the face, and the nose is about there. And then down here, and then it has a little plump body here. Let's start down here on the neck, and then come where the behind is, like that. That's looking pretty good. Now let's fade some of those lines. And you can just take your brush and add water. And you always want to start lighter with watercolor and then build up those layers to darker. Just going to fade some of these lines. Don't want it to be so pronounced. Get the shape of the fun little bunny. If you need to add a little paint, go ahead so you can see where your lines are. Sometimes if they're too light, they're too hard to see. That's looking pretty good. Add a little color to my... So this bunny is sitting in grass in a meadow. Now, the eye is about right here, and you don't want to get it too dark. You want to leave a wider space there. That's looking pretty good. Okay. Now that we did that, let's give it a good dry. Now let's do the eye. It's a very dark black, almost a black. Now to make that mixture, use ultramarine blue and some burnt umber. That's looking pretty good. And you want to make sure that it's dried, because we don't want the paint to expand. So the eye is about right here. And there is a white spot, a little white reflection on the eye. So leave a white spot. about this size like that. That's looking pretty good. Now let's give it another good dry. We don't want that paint to run and have the eye blurry. Okay. Let's use our round with pointing tip brush. We're going to work on some of the bigger areas of the bunny. And let's use some of our yellow ochre we have here and add some burnt sienna. Add a little water to my brush. Start here and spread that paint. Now I want this to be a little darker there and then start getting lighter. And to make it lighter, I'm just dipping my brush in the yellow ochre and putting it straight on the paper. And letting it kind of mix in with the paint there. Let's get the back of the ear here. Some more down here. I want to leave some of that lighter color. Let's put some on the ear here. Come around. Add a little more water to my brush because I want to spread the paint, make it more translucent. Let's go here. I want to leave a little white spot, a little lighter area around the eye. And some up here. Like that. That's looking pretty good. Some up here. A little more paint. And you know what I like about watercolor is you can get some very subtle, soft effects. And it's really taking practice with how much paint and how much water. If you want a lighter color, a lighter layer, you're going to need more water. If you want something more solid, you're going to use very little water and mostly paint. Now let's give it a quick dry. Okay, let's take our liner brush and work on the nose. The nose is a little darker. So let's use some of our burnt sienna here and add some of the burnt umber. Make it a darker brown, and using the two browns make a nice color. Make the tip of his nose right there. And then it has some whiskers here. Now that's a little too dark, but that's an easy fix. Just add water to your brush and you can dab it a little bit there. I want to make some impressions where the whiskers are. Just some little dark shapes. And then I have some of that brown mixture here. I'm going to add a little white. It's going to have some little tan whiskers come out here. Like that. That's looking pretty good. Now let's work on the ears. There's some shadows in the ear. Now we have this dark, almost black mixture. Let's add a little white and put a little gray in it. Make it more of a gray color. And just dab your brush a little of that mixture and put some white. Cover the ears there, like that. Now there's some shadows there that are darker. So let's take some of our brown mixture. Need to mix some more. Need to wet my brush. Too much paint. Need a little more water in that one. And just put some inside the ear. Now that's a little dark, but we can work with it. That's what I like about paper. It is flexible and workable. And it's just magic when some of the things happen, because you don't really plan them and you get wonderful things. I like that. And one thing with watercolor, it's really easy to overdo and get impatient. And just enjoy the process and slow yourself down. Don't worry about the dishes in the sink or having to run to the store. Just be present here in the moment. Okay, let's give it a good dry. Okay, let's turn our attention to the grass, and there's going to be some delicate yellow flowers. And I find it's good to go to other areas of your painting to work on. And that helps me not to overdo the painting. Because remember, we're not trying to get every little hair on the bunny. We're just trying to catch the essence of the picture, the feeling. So let's go ahead and take some sap green, load your brush, and add some grass here. And just kind of slash it up. And it's okay, put some on the bunny, flipping up. Just a little bit everywhere here. A little more over here. Just some slash it up like that. And then take our brush and just adding some water and gonna let some of this green paint run. Just like that, just a little bit. Now we're not painting the whole background. We're just, now let's take time and dry, because we want to add those delicate yellow flowers. And I don't want it to have a blurry look. Sometimes you want that. Okay, let's add some lemon yellow, some bright little flowers. And just start putting some of that color everywhere. Now, I haven't connected the stems, but that's okay. You can do that later in the process. it kind of, I think if you do the blossoms first, it's easy to find where you want to put some of those stems. And just add a little color here and there, everywhere. Just sporadically along the page there, along the picture. Some by the bunny, some off in the distance here. Just kind of like that. Maybe a couple over here. This one is lonely. It needs a friend. That's looking pretty good. Okay. Now let's add the stems using the sap green. And just load your brush as needed. This one here. This one needs one over here. Like that. That's looking pretty good. Now the only thing I see as I look at this, I'm overall happy with how this is turning out, is this white space here. So I want to fill that in with some darker space because that's where the bunny is sitting. So I'm going to take some of my sap green and put it with my brown mixture I have here. So this is more of an olive green. And put some where that space is. Need a little more paint. Just want to add it where those white spots are. There, that looks better. So then step back. One more little spot there. Then step back and look at the overall. You really do need to stand back and look at your painting as you are doing it in progress. And then, every 5 minutes, take a step back, look at it and think, what do I need to do? Now, as I'm stepping back and looking at it, I feel that it's finished. I could add more, yes, but I like the overall features of it. It gives me a smile and a warm feeling. And I hope it does when you do your painting. So have a great day, and thanks for joining me.